What's up, everybody? Doomwake here. Welcome back to another modern video on the channel. As always, before we continue, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of the video. So today, we're going to be playing some Dimir Urza's Kitchen. I think it's been about 3 or 4 weeks since I played this on the channel, and I wanted to give you guys a just sort of an update where I am with the deck. And I still think it is one of the best decks in Modern right now. It's probably the best variant of Asmo that I played, and I've played a lot with Asmo before. So I think this deck is really awesome. It's actually inspired me to buy some paper cards for the first time, and I can't even honestly, before this deck, I cannot even honestly remember the last time that I bought paper cards. I was one of those people that always would just borrow from friends at tournaments. But this is I like this deck so much that I did buy the entire deck in paper to play some local FNMs, 1Ks, stuff like that. Just because I believe so much in it. I think this deck is legit, and I think it's here to stay. So long as there aren't any bans, we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, this deck is just awesome, and I wanted to kind of give you guys an update of where I am because I've made a few changes over the past couple of weeks. Nothing crazy. In the previous version, we had one Steam Vents to splash for some sideboard braids. That was mostly a concession to we needed something to be able to kill Cookbook in the mirror, but I'm not actually as big of a fan of a braid against Hammer Time because you're almost always trading down on mana, so I'd rather just have more fatal pushes, and things like that. I have added second explosives to make it to as a concession for that matchup as well. But yeah, the main changes: no more braids. We have a second push, a second explosives, a third Thoughtseize. I have an Emrakul in the sideboard, and I've trimmed down on the Titan stuff. Like I'm down to 2 Gust and 1 Ashiok, and that's just because there's just not that much Amulet going around, which is surprising. I When I was playing against Amulet the first couple of weeks, it felt like Amulet was one of the best Saga decks, and I don't know if it's just I don't know if Amulet struggles a lot with Hammer Time. I would imagine that's probably what it is, because they don't have a ton of interaction, and Hammer Time is usually just faster than Amulet, so maybe that's causing the decrease in Amulet. But yeah, that's why I've cut some of my Amulet hate, because it's just not really there anymore. And I've added a Doomblade to the sideboard, which might look kind of weird. You might think to yourself, well, there's got to be something better. But Doomblade is one of the cards that answers Murktide Regent the cleanest, and you could play Go for the Throat, but the problem with Go for the Throat is it's really bad against Hammer Time and Urza Saga in general. You could play Cast Down. The problem with Cast Down is it doesn't kill Ragavan or Urza or Asmo. I thought there was another legend, Luris. Yeah, not killing. Well, I guess Doomblade doesn't kill Luris either, but and then Heartless Act, similar thing. Heartless Act kills a lot of stuff except the card that we actually want the removal spell to kill, which is Murktide Regent. There's some removal spell from the new D&D set. It's like destroy a non-angel, non-demon, non-dragon or something like that, but it says non-dragon, so you can't kill Murktide. So I just think Doomblade is just the cleanest card that answers the widest range of things. I know it looks kind of weird to play Doomblade in 2021, but I just think that it covers the most ground. You could maybe sell me at a Murderous Cut because you have Emery and you have Fetch Lands, you have Baubles. I think that is the one card that I will end up trying at some point. But for today, we'll just go with the Doomblade. And the main deck, that's pretty much the only changes that have been made to the sideboard. The main deck is basically exactly the same. I think the second Bone Shards over one Fatal Push, and that was, again, another concession to Murktide Region because Blue-Red's been popping up a lot. But other than that, the main deck is pretty much exactly the same. I think the main deck is close to perfect. I think that the flex slots are the interactive spells, like the 2 Bone Shards, 2 Rebuke. And you could maybe talk me into cutting the needle from the main deck, but everything else is pretty locked in, so not a ton of changes there. So, with that, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over with the deck, so let's get to some games. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number one. All right, everybody, we're back here for round number one of our league with Dimir, Urza, Asmo. What do we got? One lander, just an Urza Saga. His hand's really close because we have Cookbook, Daredevil, Asmo, but just not having a colored mana source. I think I have to ship this. Yeah, his hand's a lot worse. I don't think I can keep this. His hand just doesn't do anything. Okay. I can keep this and put back Needle for sure. And then I think... I kind of want to keep Bauble, Emery, 2 lands. So it's just a question of, am I keeping what's like higher upside to keep Daredevil if I draw a Cookbook, or Asmo if I draw a Cookbook or Street Wraith? Well, here's the thing. If I put back Daredevil and draw Cookbook, it's not actually that good because I don't have the Daredevil to go with it. So I think it's actually better to put back this. We'll see what our opponent is up to. So what I can do with this hand is just go like Watery Grave tapped, turn 1. Oh, they're playing River? Huh. Mill, but with a blue-red land. I don't think I've seen that before. Bauble was a good draw, because now we can turn 1 Emery. Mill is generally not the best matchup, but we'll see. Burning Inquiry. Okay. Not quite sure what's going on over there. Okay. Mountain. Assume. Oh, they're targeting themselves. Okay, that makes a little more sense. So they're like self-mill. Okay. So what are they milling into? Okay, so they're doing some Vengevine stuff. Gotcha. Probably Hollow One. Alright, Burning Inquiry resolves. Our hand stayed the exact same. Now they have a Root Wall to get back Vengevine. It's a little scary. They also have a Squee in their graveyard that they can get back. It's a pretty good draw from them. Alright, we'll take 4, go to 14. Our hand's just a little too slow. I would have to imagine our hand's going to be too slow this game. So they played the Inquiry that we saw. I think my best play is to just get back Aether Spellbomb and bounce the Vengevine. I think that buys me the most amount of time. Because we don't know for certain they have another discard outlet. Yeah. I was trying to think if there's a way that I could just like start casting some stuff and then try to get towards Thought Monitor, but I don't really think that that's going to work out. So now next turn I can go get back Bauble, make a Construct token, and kind of somehow just hope that we can buy enough time. But yeah, because now they can get back Ox. It's probably not good for us. They don't have an Island for Wonder, worth noting. Not that that matters too much because we don't have that many blockers. So they're choosing not to get back Ox this turn, which is interesting. I guess they want to wait till I bounce the Vengevine and then they want to discard it to the Ox, which I guess makes sense, yeah. So we'll take 3, go to 11. Kind of in a pretty bad spot here. Okay. So that doesn't really help us that much. So make a construct, play Bauble, or Cookbook, Shadow Spear, Spellbomb. The problem with the Cookbook, Shadow Spear, Spellbomb line is I don't have a construct in play to start racing. That's like the one way I'm going to get out of this. Is by making a construct this turn and then Shadow Spearing it up next turn and just kind of hoping. So I think I'm just going to get back Bauble this turn, play Island and pass. Alright, Bauble, Island pass, make a construct on their turn. Then next turn we can just choose not to make a construct, get a Cookbook, play Shadow Spear, play Cookbook, and then we'll have... I'm not going to crack the Bauble, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can attack with an 8/8 construct next turn. So maybe that's good enough. We'll see. See what they have. So this looks like an ox. They notably still don't have an island for wonder. I don't know how much that's going to matter, but yes, they discard the Vengevine. Yeah, two Vengevines. See if they found a creature. They probably did. Their deck has a lot of 1-mana creatures. I would assume they can get back these two Vengevines, and that's probably going to be good enough. Oh, never mind. So we take 8, go to 3. Yeah, I can't really afford to trade the construct for Root Wallace, so we'll just take 8. 3. Alright, make a construct. Metallic Rebuke, huh? Can I afford to make a second construct? So, float mana with Saga, get Cookbook, 1 mana floating, play Cookbook, tap Island, play Shadow Spear, go to 1, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, attack, go to 3, or go to 11. If I don't play the Cookbook from hand, can I play the Thought Monitor and equip? 1, 2, get a Cookbook, 3, 4, play Shadow Spear, 5, 2 mana for Thought Monitor? No, I can't. So I'd have to choose to not equip if I wanted to do that. Well, I have to gain life this turn, so I don't really have a choice. So whatever I have to do certainly involves playing Shadow Spear and equipping. This would have been a lot better if I just didn't draw the Shadow Spear, because then I could just get it and not have to spend the mana from my hand. What if I got Springleaf Drum? Nah, it doesn't change anything. It's the same amount of mana towards casting Thought Monitor, right? So I get Drum, because then I have to play the Cookbook as well. So I get Drum, 3 artifacts, play this, that's 5 artifacts. Oh, but then I can make a food that's 6 artifacts. And then I can play the Monitor and equip. Right? Does that work? 1, 2, get Drum, that's 3. Play this 4, play this 5, discard 6. And then I have... Play this, have this untapped, tap this to cast the Monitor. And then if I find the non-shock land, I don't even have to take damage. Okay, that actually works. Gives me no blockers, but... Okay, so let's go play Cookbook. I think I did my math right here. Play Shadow Spear. Make a food. This also potentially leaves me the out of... I guess Asmo is probably not good enough, right? So this is 6 artifacts. Cast the Monitor. Draw 2. Okay. Well, I mean, if I survive... I'm not dead on board, am I? I hope not. So I go to 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm just basically dead on board, right? If they have, unless they have actual nothing. So maybe if I don't cast the Thought Monitor, do I have outs? Oh, they're blocking. Oh, because they can just get it again, yeah. Yeah, this is bad. Okay. I don't know if I had outs if I didn't cast the Thought Monitor, because I have to attack, right? I guess I could leave it back on defense. And that means they also don't get to block with Ox. So maybe I was supposed to leave it back on defense? Yeah, perhaps. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it would have mattered because they also have the island now to give their stuff flying. So if I leave the construct back, I just can't block with it anyways. because they have the Wonder in the graveyard. So even if I leave the Construct back, it probably doesn't matter because they just give their stuff flying. I was at 3 when I started the turn, right? What about... I'm trying to think, what if I get back Aether Spellbomb with Emry? No, I don't think that does anything. Like, I think that there's no possible way I cannot... I could survive without gaining life that turn. Unless I guess I just hope they don't have an island, right? If I don't attack and stay at 3, and they just don't have an island, then we're good. But if they have an island, I'm just dead. They just attack and I'm dead, right? So I don't know. I guess I could have left back the Thought Monitor. No, because the only way that I can play Thought Monitor and equip is by getting the drum, playing the monitor, and tapping the monitor to equip. So that didn't work. I don't know if I had a winning line this game. Maybe they drew 3 lands. Seems like they probably didn't draw 3 lands. But if they somehow only have lands in their hand... Alright, never mind, we're dead. Alright, game 2 against Hollow One, Vengevine. Nihil Spellbomb seems okay. Fatal Push kills Crab and Flameblade Adept. I think it's actually pretty good. It kind of shuts off their enablers. Doomblade does not seem great. Thoughtseize does not seem great. Metallic Rebuke, I think, is quite poor. Their curve is pretty low. And Needle probably doesn't do anything. Not a huge fan of Gust. Gust, I think, is only good against exactly Ox, which might be worth it, but I don't think it is. I like Bone Shards because it kills Hollow One. Yeah, I like this. Let's do this. Alright, we're back here for game number 2. We have Asmo Double Daredevil with no way to discard. Can't really keep that. Basic Swamp. Cookbook, Spellbomb, Bauble, Saga, Push. I think this hand is decent. I think I'm going to keep and either put back second Urza Saga or Spellbomb. Then what I could do is go Swamp, Cookbook, Bauble main phase, a Bauble on my turn in case I draw Daredevil to make an extra food. I think I'm going to put back the Spellbomb. Play Swamp, play Bauble, play Cookbook. Bauble right now, they're drawing a Riverglide Pathway. And again, the reason you bobble on your turn, a lot of times, if you're playing into discard, you want to wait till their turn. The reason you want to bobble on your turn is because if you find Daredevil, you just get to make a food for free. So it's just another look at it. Alright, cycle that. Urza, not really all that castable right now, but yeah, push for the crab. So hopefully we can kind of make it so they don't really have any enablers going on. They don't have a second crab. They have a Flameblade Adept, which is fine. Just deciding if I want to make a food here. I don't think I do. At least not yet. Okay, there we go. That's not too bad. So let's play a Saga. This is one of those spots where I definitely am happy that I have Springleaf Drum in my deck, because otherwise I would not have access to blue mana. So what I'm going to do is probably go end step, make a food, 2 artifacts. Make a construct, 3 artifacts. Untap, make a construct, 4 artifacts. Drum, 5 artifacts. And then if I draw a land... Oh no, because I can just tap this for the 6th and then play the monitor. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. Say Cathartic Reunion. Kind of seems like it. Steam Vents, untapped. And Cathartic. Just auto yield to that. Cathartic resolves. Maybe if I draw an island, I'll consider getting Nihil Spellbomb. Do they also have a hollow one here? I think they do. That's kind of bad for me. Because if we take 8, go to 10. Ugh, that's rough. Do I want to chump block? Or I guess I could just trade for Vengevine. Is that good? They have 3 cards in their hand. If I trade for Vengevine, I have no shot at casting Thought Monitor, though. Right, because I'll go make a food, trade 2 artifacts, untap, make a construct 3, sack saga, get drum 4, discard the cookbook 5. So I need to find a land. I think I'll just take it because my constructs can probably outsize the Vengevine. Although these Flameblade Adepts are kind of an issue as well because they have Menace. So if they have like another card that's lets them discard, that could be an issue. All right, we did draw a blue source, so now I could just play Urza. Which I think is better than doing anything else, because Urza would allow me to kind of just do it all. So float mana, get drum, play this untapped. Should not tap the Saga. Cast Urza. Then we go make a food. I wonder if I was supposed to tap. It didn't matter. I was gonna say, I wonder if I was supposed to leave up the swamp in case I drew Asmo. Okay, pass. We can make another construct instant speed. Okay, crab resolves. Crab resolves. We don't know about this anymore because that's gone. Alright, mill themselves. They have 2 cards left. Well, if they have nothing going on, they don't really have good attacks, so this is not that bad for us. So now we go make a construct. Then we can make another construct, and then probably get the Shadow Spear, and then just kind of go ham from there. Okay, that should probably do it too. So let's go construct, construct, get the Shadow Spear. Yeah, we're gonna go off this turn. Tap, discard Daredevil, make a food, get back Daredevil, play Asmo. We are going off. They're gonna need a pretty good one to get out of this, like, I don't know, what you call it? Vandal Blast or something along those lines. So discard Daredevil, make a food. Then we can go. I have enough to spin, right? 1, 2, 3. I don't know. Spinning's kind of risky. I don't really need to spin. Because this is going to happen no matter what. Excuse me. So if I spin, I can play my land first and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of want to attack first to see if the attack is good. Because if I gain 14 life, then I'm probably safe spinning, but I want to at least attack first. I kind of think they have a grudge or some sort of removal spell here. Looks like they do. Blue-red. Echoing Truth, the Construct. They're bouncing the untapped one, which is... I can actually just kill the untapped Construct. Yeah, I think they messed that up. And then I still gain 10. Yeah, I think they were supposed to bounce this one. In which case, yeah, I don't know. They take 9, excuse me. And then I just get to move the equipment. I think that is worth it. So they take 9. Then we go post-combat. We'll move the Shadow Spear to the other untapped construct. Then we'll play Tarn and pass. All right. Now we don't have any Asmo activations up, but we have, 5 blockers with one of them being a 9/9 lifelink at 17. So they didn't do anything crazy last turn, so I think we should be okay. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, they were supposed to bounce the untapped construct, or the attacking one, but even if they bounced the attacking one, I guess that's probably not great, right? Because then they still just gain 12, because the Asmo says the creature deals damage to itself, and it had lifelink. So I make the same play, but I just gain 12. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they did bounce the right one then, right? It was a weird situation. Do we want to change anything for going to game number 3? No, I don't think so. I think we are good. Yeah, so I guess the way that they did it, I actually gained less life because they bounced the untapped one. Because if they had bounced the one that was attacking, I shoot it twice and I gained 12 as opposed to 9. So yeah, I don't know. It's probably just one of those spots where they just, I don't know what's in their deck, but they probably don't really have any outs at that point. I think the only thing that probably gets them out of that is Vandal Blast, but or something along that line, like Vandal Blast, Shatterstorm, those kinds of things. But they can't really play Shatterstorm in their decks. They have Hollow One, so. Anyways, game number 3. It's the same opening hand as game 1, just Saga no mana. This one we're on the draw with a Bauble and a Street Wraith though. Oh man, this hand is so close. I'm gonna mulligan. I'm gonna be a little disciplined here. Yikes. Well, this hand at least has push for Crab or Flameblade Adept. We can put back second Daredevil. And we're on the draw with a Street Wraith. This hand's really clunky, but I think it's better than the average 5. I could be wrong about that. Okay. Cycle main phase. In case we spike an Asmo. Or that works too. Book, book. We'll pass the turn, which is perfect because we have the Daredevil and we can start making food to cast this Thought Monitor. So that was actually a really good draw. Not as good as Asmo, but, we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. This is Cathartic Reunion. Okay. Discarding Ox of Agonis. Worth noting. No Asmo yet, so we'll just play Shore's Pass. Maybe I'm supposed to play Flooded Strand that turn so I can hold up Revolt Fatal Push, but I feel like the only 3-drop in their deck... Ingot Chewer. I feel like the only 3-drop in their deck is like Season Power Man, so that's the one that we saw game 1. Alright, I'll make a food. It's a little annoying because now we can't cast the Monitor, but we find a land, we can just play the Urza the turn after, and we can actually go Urza into Monitor if we draw land 4. Right? No, we're going to be 1 mana short, okay. Guess I'll play the Strand now. But the good news is they're not doing anything. They have an Ox, which is kind of like a ticking time bomb, sort of. This is 8 cards, right? Yeah, so they're on 5 right now. I wonder if they have counter magic in their deck. Probably not, right? I can't imagine they can afford to play counter magic. Well, that's actually not a bad draw. So Monitor costs 4. We only have 3 artifacts, so we'll pass. Can do some stuff next turn. Is this a Lightning Axe? Kind of okay with me because we have the other Urza, so that is fine. Yeah, drawing the second Urza actually quite good here. Red, red. Magus of the Moon? Really? Okay. I did not expect that. I definitely could have played around that, but shouldn't have played my land first, but okay, this is 5 artifacts. So let's pass. Do I want to play defense? They only have 2 cards in their hand. No, let's attack. Yeah, I guess I could. I mean, I could have fetched the basic island to play around that. I just did not expect that card to be in their deck. But I think we're fine. If they attack with Root Walla, I think I might block. Oh no, that's not how that works. Right. Okay, never mind. I'll take it. I was gonna say I can go block, float a black mana, let damage happen, and then push the Magus. But once you go to damage, your black mana doesn't float anymore, so you can't actually do that. But we can also just crack a food and push the Magus if we really want to. Which I guess I probably will, right? Just go crack food, black mana, push the Magus, get a swamp, get an island in case they have another Magus. No, play another Urza. Should be fine here, though. Urza, 5 artifacts, and then we can play the Monitor. One, two, Monitor, Bobble, 7. All right, your turn. We go to 5. What's your top card? Top card is, drumroll, Burning Inquiry. That's a card. Okay. They're going to need a pretty good one to get out of this, though. Blood Moon, not going to do it. Echoing Truth, also probably not going to do it. They can bounce my Thought Monitors. I'm in. Alright, they can Ox. But even with the Ox, I don't even know, like, realistically at this point, what's their game plan? Like, what's their out? There's no way I take lethal here, right? No, I don't think so. I guess I can't quite kill them? So we have 4 in the air with the monitors, and then 3 attackers. So they have to leave back at least 3 things. Unless they have an axe in their hand. If they have an axe, they probably just attack. I guess this isn't a good attack either way, right? I just block with the Urza. Also, if they had axe, they could just cast axe before attacks. So they probably just attack with this. This seems like a pretty safe attack, though. Although I guess they die to a removal spell if I do that. If they do that. This has been a pretty close match. I don't understand the Root Wall attack. Unless they have axe. Yeah, the Root Wall attack does not make sense. Right, I just block here. Okay. They gotta have something, right? Maybe they just have another blocker? I don't know. I wonder what that means. But again, it's not Lightning Axe because they would have just cast Lightning Axe before attacks, right? Alright, they gave us the GGs. Cool. That was an interesting match. We kind of got pummeled game 1, but our deck kind of did its thing in the next 2 games. So, I hope you enjoyed the match. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 2. Alright, everybody, we're back here for round number 2 of our league with Dimir, Asmo. We got 2 pair, Shards, Emrys, huh? Sounds really awkward because in order to play Emery on turn 2, I need to play Needle, and I'm on the play in the dark. And so I'd be like, Needle is almost always just going to be a blank card here. I think this hand's too bad. Also, it's like multiple Bone Shards in your opening hand is really awkward with no Daredevil. Yeah, the hand's just bad. This hand only has 1 land, so I probably should mulligan. No artifacts for Emery either. Okay, I guess it's better than nothing. Put back the Needle and put back the Dark Slick. No, I put back Misty because I'm gonna go Bobble, Dark Slick, pass. I'm not gonna sack Bobble, and then I'm just gonna go turn 2 Emery. But I'd be fetching on turn 2 to play the Emery anyway, so there's really no reason to keep the Bobble or to keep the fetch land. I guess unless I draw a second Bobble, and then I could just play the Emery and then hold up the fetch to Bobble myself. But I am not quite sure what I'm even looking for at this point. All right, Island Serum Visions could be Blue-Red Murktide, could be Storm. I guess could be Adnaz, but there's less Adnaz floating around. All right. Serum Visions go. Oh, you know what? I wanna... What did they do with their Serum Visions? They put 2 cards on top. Alright, so let's go ahead and bobble on their upkeep, just because I want to see what card they put on top. They put a bobble on top, so probably Blue-Red Murktide. Oh, never mind. Bobble Seachrome Coast, huh? Are they playing the Blue-White Urza deck? I think they are. Yeah, they're probably playing the Blue-White Urza deck. It's like Urza, Thopter Sword, Portable Hole, that kind of stuff. Land? No land. That's kind of a beat. All right, play Bobble. Play Shadow Spear. Get back Oval Chase. Not like we can do anything with it anyways. And what's this? Remand the Shadow Spear. Okay. I guess I'll replay it. Alright, I'm not quite sure what they're playing now. Because the Blue-White Urza list that I saw did not have Remand. So, not sure. See what they're up to. They have Island on top, which they played. Should probably keep this window open because I'm gonna keep bobbling them. So, what's this? Path to Exile. All right, I will respond. Target the bobble. Get Island. Draw a card off the bobble. Play bobble for the turn. Play Aether Spellbomb. Play Watery Grave. Tapped. And pass. I think I'm still going to bobble them. I could save the bobble for Thought Monitor, but they have another Serum Visions on top. I'm not quite sure what's going on over there. Jeskai, apparently. Okay. Jeskai with Serum Remand Path. Maybe Stoneblade, but why would they have Bobble in their deck? That's the most confusing card to me is Bobble. Alright, they have a Teferi. Blessing Teferi. I'm going to leave the Spellbomb in place so I can bounce my own Urza if they go to kill it. Yeah, I'm just going to have 6. Okay, draw Street Wraith. I'm going to cycle the Street Wraith in case I hit Springleaf Drum or... I was going to say Springleaf Drum or Bobble would have allowed me to play Thought Monitor that turn. But this is not a bad setup. So we can go Urza, tap the Spellbomb, play Emery. Not quite enough to play Monitor, but... And we'll pass. I guess I should probably equip the Shadow Spear here, huh? Yeah. No, because then I don't have the Spellbomb up. Okay, never mind. I was going to say I want to equip Shadow Spear to Urza, so that if they Teferi minus on the construct, I still have a 2-power attacker that can threaten Teferi. But if I tap both my artifacts, then I can't leave up Spellbomb, bounce Urza, if they go for, like, Path to Exile on Urza. And I would like to be able to save my Urza if they have that. They're choosing to bounce Urza. It's an interesting play. I could bounce my own Urza to make it so they don't draw a card, but no, I'll just let it go. I guess I now don't have the Spell Bomb up, but I'm really surprised they didn't bounce the Construct there. I guess they probably have a counterspell for the Urza. That's the only reason that would make sense. But I could also just choose to not play the Urza, which I probably will do, honestly. Bolt the Emery. Okay. Is this Snapcaster Mage? Engineered explosives for 1. For 1? Okay, so if I cast Urza and they have a counterspell, they then can't pop the explosives to save Teferi. So I guess I will start with Urza. Drawing the 4th Daredevil, not the best, by the way, in case you were wondering. Okay. They have a Bolt too? No. They don't have a second Bolt. Okay, Teferi down. I'm still kind of weirded out by these baubles in their deck. I'm not quite sure. Maybe they have main deck Lurrus? I don't know. What's the reason for playing? There's got to be a reason they have bauble in their deck, right? Really not sure. It's very strange. Like, I guess they're just some sort of control deck, but just a very odd looking control deck with Remand and Mishra's bauble, you know? Maybe it's time to start hardcasting Daredevils. Alright, blow up the EE for 1, sure. I can live with that. I mean, they almost certainly have a counterspell for Urza, right? I think it's just time to play some Daredevils. Alright, 4-2 beats. Your turn. I mean, hey, they attack for 4, you know? They do their job. I got nothing better to do. I don't really want to play Urza, do a bunch of open mana. I mean, maybe I'm supposed to just jam Urza there, but I don't know. These are threats. I mean, they'll have to answer them eventually, and we got a lot of them. So red white underworld breach. Oh, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, now I know why they have Bauble in their deck. So do they have the grinding station? I think we're dead to grinding station. I understand a little bit more about what their deck's doing now. Now I know why they have Mishra's Bauble. So for those of you who don't know, Underworld Breach plus Grinding Station plus any 0-mana artifact mills your entire deck. And once they mill their entire deck, they can cast Thassa's Oracle from their graveyard with Underworld Breach. So that's why they're playing with Mishra's Bauble. Explosives also doubles as a 0-mana artifact to combo off with Breach. So those make a little bit more sense now. And that's why they're playing Remand, because they're at heart a combo deck, and Remand is better in combo decks. It's all starting to click now. All right, EE for 0. Okay. Did they not find the grinding station? We'll see. All right, Serum Visions. And Bauble. Kind of seems like they have not found the grinding station. Hmm. So it looks like they're casting Teferi from the graveyard to kill the construct. Okay. Yeah. So they have no graveyard left. So they're not dead, which is pretty good. Bouncing the Daredevil? I'm so confused. Um, so I guess now I can play Urza. And I have 3 artifacts, so I cannot quite cast the Thought Monitor. So let's just play Emery. I think I'm gonna kill Teferi because it does it change the clock. I don't know. I don't want to let them keep Teferi in play. I think I'd rather just kill it. Although, I mean, they drew a lot of cards last turn, so we might just be dead. We'll see. Chess Guy, Ascendancy, Thought Scour. I think I'm probably gonna just fast forward, skip the video up until they kill me. Okay, they have Fate Stitcher. I think we're just dead then, right? Is this deterministic? No, they don't have the bubble yet. Oh, don't they also they need the breach too? They need another breach. Anyways, I'll just fast forward until the point where I'm dead. Alright, we're back. We died. Opponent cast a bunch of spells with the Fate Stitchers, tapped their blockers, and we died. Cool. Alright, game 2. So they're Jeskai, Ascendancy, Underworld Breach. I guess I want the Spell Bomb. I probably want Thoughtseize against them. I'm having some issues with my mouse today. I don't know. Whenever I go to highlight some stuff, it like unclicks it. It's weird. Alright, Spell Bomb, Thoughtseize, maybe Rebuke. Gus, no. Push kills Fate Stitcher, but no, I don't think I want that. Yeah, I don't want like the 1-for-1 spot removal. I don't even think I want Bone Shards. Ashiok might be good. Maybe. Does Needle do anything? Needle stops Fate Stitcher, which could be good. I kind of want this extra Rebuke too. So I have to cut 3 cards. How good is Aether Spellbomb? Aether Spellbomb is kind of nice because you can bounce an Unearthed Fate Stitcher to sort of prevent them from going off for a turn. What am I cutting? I could probably shave a Street Wraith. Could probably shave an Emery because it's kind of slow. I don't know that that's what the matchup is about. Probably don't need the Shadow Spear either. I don't really think it's these matchups are ever going to come down to a damage race, and that's kind of what Shadow Spear is there for. So we'll just go ahead and cut Shadow Spear. All right, we're back here for game number 2. What have we got? Dark Slick Shores, Cookbook. Okay. I'm going to keep this. I'm actually not going to Thoughtseize on turn 1, though. Because what I want to do is go... I want to go Cookbook into probably discard a card end step. Or I can just wait till... I don't need to discard a card end step. I can wait till my turn. And then I want to go Thoughtseize... Well, I can't. I guess I can't Thoughtseize plus Emery. Because I only have 1... Yeah, maybe that was bad. Maybe I was supposed to Thoughtseize on 1. And then I could go... Saga, tap Saga, play Cookbook, tap Cookbook, discard a card, then play the Emery. Yeah, that probably would have been better. Because now if I Thoughtseize, yeah, this was bad. Okay, we drew a colored source, but kind of want to play the Saga this turn as well. So now we have to make a decision. Because there's also the argument where if I play... Saga this turn, I won't be able to Thoughtseize and make a construct next turn. So maybe I just don't want to play Saga. And I just want to go Thoughtseize, tap Cookbook, discard Cookbook, play Emery. Yeah, I think I like that better. Ascendancy, Bolt, Mentor Path, Remand, Thought Scour. Is it crazy to take their cantrip here? I don't think so. What did they do with their scry? Let's take a look. They put bottom top, so they're probably topping a land. So if I take Thought Scour, they draw a land, they hold up Remand. I guess I could just take Monastery Mentor in that case. Yeah, my hand's kind of weak to Mentor, and I boarded out all my answers to it, so I should probably just take the Mentor. And then we'll go discard Cookbook, get Basic Island, play Emery. Like that. Alright, so they're almost certainly drawing a land here, so they're just going to pass with Remand up, yep. Or do they want a bolt? That's the question. Maybe they just want a bolt here. Because they know that there's a high likelihood that I'm just going to play a Saga this turn to kind of blank their Remand. So we can cycle that. I'm going to try and bait the Remand. I don't think they're going to cast it, but... I think I'm going to choose to not play... Well, this is actually nice, because this might bait the Bolt. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Because I don't really want to play Asmo into the Bolt. I guess I could have played Asmo, or played Spellbomb, then played Asmo, but then they just remand it, and I don't have another black mana. I'm just going to pass. If they go to Bolt the Emery, I wonder if I just want to bounce it. Maybe. Maybe I just let it go. Alright, they cast Thought Scour. They Thought Scoured me. Interesting. So their hand right now is Remand Path, Ascendancy, Brick. Or Unknown, not Brick. So I could bounce this, or I could just save it for the Asmo. I think I'm just going to save it. Saving it's also good if they find a Fate Stitcher and try to go off. Okay, this is good. I'm just going to keep the Spellbomb in play. I'm just going to start burying them with constructs. Especially while they're holding up Remand, I'm just not going to let them use their mana. This is a really good setup. Like, they're stuck on mana, and they kind of are like incentivized to hold up Remand. But like, I'm just punishing them by Sagaing, so this works out pretty well for me. Make a construct, untap, make another construct. I guess I could play the Urza now that they don't have Remand up. That's probably just better, right? Then I'll get Nihil Spellbomb just in case. Sure. Get Basic Swamp. No, I milled over Basic Swamp. Okay, I won't get Basic Swamp then. Play Urza. Get a Dispute, I guess, but they do not have Dispute. I don't want to tap that, because that one you actually have to tap to use. 3, 4, 5. Do some spinny spin. Alright, opponent is off of it. Game number 3. You want to change anything? No, I think this is good. think this is good. I think I like Metallic Rebuke a lot. I understand that they showed me Monastery Mentor, but I still don't really think I want Doomblade or Fatal Push, just because, like, I don't know. They can just win a game where they get a ton of value off of Jeskai Ascendancy, and they probably don't even have that many Mentors anyways. We also have this card that kills Mentors, so. That said, this hand is kind of sketchy. It doesn't really do anything. And I'm probably going to mulligan. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan this. It's just too slow. Thought Monitor is one of the more awkward cards in your opening hand, unless you have Cookbook Daredevil to generate, free game objects, but this hand is no good. Opponent kept 7. This hand is a turn 1 Emery. So I'm going to keep this. What am I putting back? I think I'm going to put back the Needle. Although I think it's definitely between these two for me. I'm going to put back Needle. Because the fact that they showed me Monastery Mentor, if I, keep the Needle, and they just, Needle for Fate Stitcher, and they just have a Mentor, it's kind of awkward. So, my Needle's not really doing anything at that point. Alright, Bobble. Bobble. Emery. Your turn. Milled over 2 Sagas and an Urza. That's not good. That is not good. It's kind of the opposite of what we wanted to mill over there. They have an island on top. Okay. Yeah, I would have liked to draw any of those cards, preferably Saga, just because Saga's so good in these spots where they're holding up counter magic. You just get to make time walk them. Alright, so they are drawing a Bolt. Next turn, of course. Well, there's the Saga. Oh. Okay. So they probably have Remand. Let's go ahead and cycle these Street Wraiths first and see what's up. I'm going to do that before I do anything else. Okay. So now I cast Asmo. They maybe remand it, and then I can go Saga, Drum, tap Emery, play Asmo. And then I guess they probably... No, I kind of want to hang on to the Asmo, actually. So let's just do it this way. Let's just cast the Bauble. I want to hang on to Asmo until they actually play the Mentor. They don't necessarily know that I have the Asmo, so they might not. They may just run out the Mentor. They're choosing to remand the Bauble, which is very, very odd. Okay, play Saga. Play Drum. Play Cookbook. And then this is, again, one of those spots you want to main phase the Bauble in case you draw Daredevil. And, okay, so they have Bolt. They're drawing Remand. There's a lot of bobbling going on here. Okay, so my guess is they're probably just going to kill the Emery, which is not that bad. Ooh, they don't have a land either. That's good. Alright, I'm going to just start making food. I have plenty of extra lands here. Just want to make some food. I want to make sure I can get my constructs out of range of a lot of stuff, too. Okay, so I can actually go Dark Slick Shores, Construct, and then tap the Construct to Thoughtseize them, which I think I will do. Ascendancy, Mentor, Path, Remand. Let's take Path. I don't really care about the rest of those cards. We have Mentor covered because we have Asmo. Ascendancy is probably going to be too slow. Even if they draw a land here. Also, they have multiple basic islands. If they draw an island, they can't even cast Ascendancy. So we're probably chilling. I'm going to keep the land just in case. Okay, I'm not going to play Urza this turn, so let's just make a construct. And I guess just get Nihil Spellbomb? Just to be as safe as possible. I don't even know that Nihil Spellbomb is necessary, but sure. And play my land. Deck. It's a 3-turn clock, right? 14. And then I get to discard a card next turn to make it 7/7. Yeah. So I don't need to discard a card this turn. I could just go 6 and then 14. Should be fine. Alright, they drew a land, so now they can play a... I mean, right, they're just dead, right? They got basic island. So they drew Teferi? Okay. It's a good draw, but we can just slam them. We can just slam the Urza now. Okay, just gonna let that go. So they have Remand, Ascendancy, Ascendancy, 2 Remands, 2 Ascendancies, and a Mentor. That's actually perfect, because now we don't have to tap the Construct. Get Swamp, get Island, play Urza. And... how much do I care about Teferi? I guess I don't really, right? Alright, just attack them and pass. I am going to leave up the Spell Bomb as opposed to spinning with Urza. You never know. Some weird stuff could happen. That I might need the Spell Bomb up. And I can even draw a card with the Spell Bomb by tapping one of these for black with the drum. So. Plus Teferi. I guess if they draw exactly Supreme Verdict, maybe leaving Teferi in play is bad, but if they draw Verdict, I'm kind of in trouble anyways. But I don't really think Verdict is in their deck. They drew Monastery, or they're playing Monastery Mentor, which is fine because they're dead on board. They have explosives for 0. Okay. So I guess they're not dead on board because I go discard whatever I draw, play Asmo. They can make 2 constructs. So this is the rest of their hand: 2 Remands, 2 Ascendancies. Okay, we should be fine though because we can just kill the Mentor. Can even spin first with Urza just to see what's on top. Can also cast that because it's basically free. Why not? Alright. Discard Daredevil. Get back Daredevil. Play Asmo. Get Book. Play Book. Discard Daredevil. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin with Urza. Play an Emery. Then we'll go kill the Mentor. Can't quite kill them, but they have to double chump block. They have a Teferi on 2 and nothing else. We still have a Spell Bomb up, so I don't really think there's a way out. Did I miss lethal? I don't think I did. Because I didn't have enough for another spin, and I could only kill one thing anyways. So I don't think I missed lethal. But again, I mean, their hand is just not really worth much right now. I guess they have explosives, which they can use on 0 to make it so they don't die. No, I just attack with everything, right? I can also just spin first. Let's go discard Daredevil. Yeah, they can blow up the constructs, but I can just attack them with everything. Might as well spin first just in case. Because why not? 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin. Sure, I'll cast that. Attack you with everything. So they blow up the 2 constructs and they take 3, 5, 7. Unless they have Bolt. Alright, it kills the Asmo. Never mind, never mind, never mind. Alright. I guess they're not dead. They're not very alive though, so here we go. Kind of just delaying the inevitable at this point. I guess our Rebuke is dead. Sure. You may activate Teferi. I guess they forgot to activate Teferi last turn, so they could have maybe bounced the Daredevil, but I don't know if it would have got out. Yeah. Gave us the GGs. Alright, interesting match against Jeskai Ascendancy. Sweet deck from the opponent over there. I didn't know what was going on for a while, but... All right. So, yeah, not a whole lot to say there. Our deck kind of just did its thing a couple times. We did lose game one, where I think part most I don't a lot of the reason why I made some decisions game one the way I did is because I just didn't know what they were doing. But in any case, that was a super sweet match. We're 2-0. I'll see you back in just a little bit for round number 3. Alrighty, everybody, we are here for round number 3. Our hand has cookbook, Daredevil, so I'm going to keep it. The needle might be a little awkward depending on what we're playing against, but just I tend to keep almost any hand that has cookbook plus Daredevil, and then just the rest of it will kind of play itself out. So against Spire Bluff Bobble, I wouldn't actually want to play Asmo on turn 1 anyways, so I'm actually just going to play Cookbook here. The reason I'm saving the Street Wraith as well is because if I draw a Bobble, I can Bobble myself before I Street Wraith to get some information. So that's why I think waiting is good. And again, there's nothing I can draw off the Street Wraith that would change my play because I'd rather just play Cookbook before Asmo anyways. Against blue-red specifically, you usually want to wait until they put a creature into play so you can get maximum value out of Asmo. So that's why you'll see me frequently wait. Like, I'm probably just not going to cast Asmo here. I think what I'll do is cycle Street Wraith, because I wanted to try and find a Saga. Play on the Cookbook. I don't particularly care if they counter it. And then I'm going to Needle. I think I'm just going to Needle Scalding Tarn. Because I have my own Bauble, so I don't really want to Needle Bauble. But, we'll just do Scalding Tarn. And we'll pass. Again, no reason to play Asmo. The reason you don't want to play Asmo before they play a creature is because if they just have a Lightning Bolt, I'm casting this and just not getting any value out of it. So, like, the way that I play this deck is a mid-range deck, you just want to get maximum value out of most of your cards. So that's why you'll see me frequently hold on to Asmo for as long as possible if I know that my opponent is playing with creatures. And because we drew Saga, we just don't have to do anything anyways. We're pressuring them without having to cast spells. It's part of why I think this matchup is actually pretty good for us. Just because, like, especially game 1, it's so hard for them to beat this. Assuming they are playing the Murktide deck. But, yeah, their removal spells just don't really interact with Saga tokens. Some of them play Archmage's Charm, which can kill a token, but, okay, as you can see. Okay, against Blue-Red Murktide. That's kind of why we have the Doomblade. I also do like Fatal Push, because you just want to, like, just interact early and often, and you're usually good. Like, because your deck is better in the later the game goes. And I actually like Rebuke quite a bit. I like Rebuke more if they show me Archmage's Charm, but even in the dark, I think I'm still just going to I think I'm still fine having 3 Rebukes in my deck. I like Cutting Needle because it doesn't do anything. I like Trimming and Emery because they have a lot of removal. And I like Trimming and Urza because they're a counterspell deck, and I like Trimming Street Wraith because sometimes they can kind of overwhelm you. Like, they can just put a ton of pressure on you early. So the second Street Wraith could be detrimental. And I think everything else looks good. Again, just maximum. The way that I play this matchup is just maximum cheap removal, and just make sure that they can't, like, snowball. Because their deck is decent at snowballing with Dragon's Rage Channeler. They can, like, chain a bunch of cantrips and get some stuff that way. But as long as you just keep the board clear and you can protect your Urza Saga with Rebuke, especially after sideboard, like, you should be fine. I think this matchup is pretty favorable. This hand is really awkward. Because this hand, if they have a Dragon's Rage Channeler or a Ragavan, I'm really going to want to cast Bone Shards on 1. But if I cast Bone Shards on 1, I likely want to discard the second Bone Shards, in which case I won't have a discard outlet for Asmo. So I think the question you have to ask yourself with this hand is, are you okay with them having their 1-drop in play for 1 turn? This hand's really close. Like, really close. think I'm leaning towards mulligan, but I could definitely be persuaded to keep this hand. It's really, really close. I'm gonna ship it, but okay. This is kind of like the same hand, but we have Urza Saga. And I think any hand with Saga is better than most hands without Saga. So this is a hand that I'm probably just gonna like discard Aether Spellbomb to kill their 1-drop, and then just keep all my lands in my Thought Monitor. Finally got the last. Or like I said, like I was saying in the intro, I ordered all the cards for this deck, and I finally got all the last pieces in. So I'm actually going to play FNM tonight, recording on Friday. So pretty excited about that. Spire Bluff Canal, go. All right, play a Spell Bomb. I actually played FNM last week, and I borrowed the card. The card that I was missing was a Mishra's Bauble, which I borrowed from somebody, and ended up splitting the finals. Got there at like 7 p.m. Stayed until about 1 a.m. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm super excited to be playing FNMs again. Okay, now what? I want to kill this. What am I discarding? I think there's an argument to discard the second Saga, and I think there's an argument to discard Monitor. I'm actually going to discard Monitor here, I think. I think I'm down. I think I just want to keep all my Sagas. It's going to be hard to convert the second Monitor, especially if, like, they have Shattering Spree. And I think if they have Shattering Spree, the second Saga might be a better follow-up. If that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just not going to cast that. Just going to play Land Pass. Just going to activate my land. There's a decent chance they have Shattering Spree in their hand, but oh, okay, kind of punished, I guess. Yeah, that sucks. I forgot about that card. Okay, probably should have discarded the second Saga. Well, this is bad. So now they're probably just going to kill the Construct. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Okay. They didn't play a land that turn, right? Turn 4, Alpine Moon, pass. Okay. I'm actually not. I should have played Emery first, but I'm actually not going to attack here because I want to hold up Rebuke. I should have played Emery first so that if they didn't have Counterspell, I could have at least considered attacking. But I think even if they don't have Counterspell, I still want to hold up Rebuke. If they have Counterspell, I'm going to fight over it. But all right, Emery resolves. Mill over some stuff. Remember, we can't play Urza Saga with Alpine Moon in play. Just dies immediately to state-based effects. All right, they have a Bolt. Iteration. Oh, Dash Ragavan. Okay. They hit a Fatal Push. It's pretty gross to get to kill the Construct. Yeah, that's pretty disgusting. And now we have nothing left. Alright, go. I should have drawn a card with the Spellbomb main phase. Alright, they're going for Hardcast Ragavan, hold up Counterspell. Makes sense. I'm just going to draw a card. I gotta find some gasoline. They sometimes bring in Blood Moon. I'll play around it. You never know. Okay. Well, if they don't have a counterspell, this is actually a decent draw. Yeah, I was worried about that. This game would have been comically easy if they didn't have Alpine Moon, but they had their sideboard card. Big Sag. Probably going to game 3 here pretty shortly. I don't really know. It's just going to be too hard to come back from this at this point. We're just too far behind. Okay. All right. I've seen enough. Still think this matchup is pretty good. I'm going to submit. I don't think it's worth bringing in Aether Gust because if your argument is Aether Gust tags Alpine Moon, most of the time they're slow rolling Alpine Moon until you play Saga, so they're going to get their value out of Alpine Moon anyways, and you're behind a mana in the exchange, so I just think it's awful. It's just not good. You could maybe try to sell me on Thoughtseize, but this hand's good. This hand is actually really good. Just going to get Watery Grave. Really hope they don't have an Alpine Moon. Because our hand is pretty reliant on this Urza Saga. They have a DRC. Okay, well that's good. If they play that, we can just go Saga Doomblade. So that's not bad. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape as long as they don't have Alpine Moon. They chose to lead on Ragavan, which I'll still Doomblade it. And yep, just going to main phase Doomblade and give them one turn to have the Alpine Moon. Really hope they don't have it, because if they do, we're in bad shape. But if they don't, we probably win. They always have it. Why don't they have it? That's really unfortunate. Yeah, they just drew their sideboard card both games. Oh well. Not much you can do about that. They did keep a one-lander, though, so there's hope. Cycle this now. Okay, now is a situation where I actually don't mind playing Asmo because A, they're mana screwed, and B, I get to play 2 cookbooks. So I think it's actually okay. Because now we can just go food, untap, food, thought monitor. They likely just have to kill this now. Yep. Okay. Get this back. Now they can't counter the thought monitor unless they have dispute, but they don't usually have dispute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a food. Play thought monitor. Draw 2 cards. Can't play the saga. Is this a spot where I want to hold on to Asmo? Yeah, I think so. It's kind of close. Given that they're mana screwed, I think I'm going to hang on to it. Need to find some non-saga lands so I can start hitting my land drops. But alright, they're choosing not to play DRC, which I guess means they have Counterspell. Guess that's fine. I mean, even without Saga, we're doing okay here. It's not that bad. Attack for 2. Play Dark Slick Shores, pass the turn. Again, I'm just going to wait until I can get value out of the Asmo. I guess they're probably just going to end step kill the Monitor. Also fine. But they'll eventually have to tap mana. Okay. Just make some food. Sack some food. So they're definitely representing Counterspell. Do I want to play around it? I think I do, because I have 3 Rebukes in my deck that I'm drawing towards. And your Rebuke just kind of gets him pretty good. Yeah, I'll just pass. I mean, we're gaining 3 life a turn, so we're not really in danger of like we're not taking any damage. You know, we're just in a holding pattern. But we'll eventually draw out of it. I guess maybe that like gets to an awkward point where they find a land, and they can then play, or this, I guess. Okay, make some food. Sack of food, go to 18. Maybe we have to play it this turn. Alright, let's see if we can find a land. That works too. That's good bait, because I assume they're going to counter this. Yep. And now I can get the value out of Asmo that I wanted. Just kill both of their channelers. And I can get the last cookbook. Not trying to land, I guess, kind of stinks, but... because I want land 4 to be able to start sacking cookbooks. But he's fine. Just gonna kill their stuff now. Alright, kill that. Kill that. You may proceed. Yeah, just drawing a land here so I can start, like, sacking cookbooks to get back monitors and Asmos would be pretty dope. What's this? EE for 1? Sure. Guess that is pretty good. Because now I assume they're going to follow up with a removal spell next turn. It's pretty fortunate. So we can start casting Oval Chase Daredevils. Oh no, because we lost the thing. Okay, well, Monitor was a good draw. We'll take that. Right, I forgot they killed the drum as well. I wouldn't mind finding an Emery. Alright, attack for 3. You got opponent. Blue-red. Iteration. Braid the Asmo. Sure. Accept. Alright, we'll get a basic just in case they have Blood Moon. You never know. But now we can start playing some 4/2s. Oh, that works too. Actually, I think I'm going to save Bone Shards in case their last card is Murktide Regent. Yeah. Because the DRC has to attack. Well, maybe that's bad. If they had man. Okay, no, this is fine. I'm just gonna pass. Yeah. I kind of feel like their last card might be Murktide Regent, so I'm just gonna save it. I think it's worth it. I can just start casting some 4/2s. Like, I guess I'm potentially giving them some value off of DRC by not casting Bone Shards, but like the DRC has to attack, so I can just attack them for 6 next turn. Whereas, yeah, I think this is better. Ooh. Okay, let's see if their last card's a counterspell. Because if it's not, they're probably dead. Not a counterspell, huh? Okay. That's probably good enough. Yep, they're off it. We drew... oh, you know what I just realized? It had not occurred to me that they blew up the Alpine Moon with explosives. I should have played Saga last turn. It did not... It just, like, didn't register me because they had Alpine Moon the whole game. So I definitely should have played Saga last turn. I'm sure the people in the YouTube comments, or if you're watching this video on YouTube, I'm sure you're screaming at me right now. But yeah, I think this matchup is quite favorable. I mean, you know, they had their sideboard card that game, and it didn't even matter. So, yeah, pretty good showing for this particular matchup. We're 3-0. I'll see you back in just a little bit for number 4. Alrighty, YouTube, back here for round number 4. We are 3-0 with Dimir Kitchen. This deck's still great. We're crushing. Opponent revealed Obosh, and we have no lands, so I'm all again. That's a lot of cookbooks. I'll keep. I'll put one of them back, because I think 3 is too many. This is a situation where I'm going to bobble myself before I Street Wraith. It's another Mishra's Bauble. So against Obosh, I probably want to get Basic Island. The only issue with getting Basic Island is if I get Basic Island and then cycle Street Wraith, I can't cast Asmo. But against Obosh specifically, I wouldn't really want to run out Asmo early on until I have enough food to kill something, because they're probably just going to play a 1-drop on turn 1. So I think what I'll do is just fetch Basic Island, cycle Wraith, play Cookbook, and pass. I think I like that the best. And hopefully we'll draw a Daredevil. Second Monitor, not the best. Obosh Inspiring Bandage, huh? I can't say I've seen that before. Ragavan is a little scary. I will say that. Don't think I'm going to discard the Cookbook yet. Okay. So we can play Monitors next turn, right? We can actually play double Monitor next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Alright, we'll give them a turn of Bunky. That's fine. Even if they hit Blood Moon, I can just get a second Basic Island. Just not be too worried about it. Swift Spia. No blocks. Let's see what they get. They got a Bone Shards, which they can't cast. Well, I mean, they could if they wanted to, but they probably don't want to cast that. And Soulska Mage. This could get a little dicey depending on how much removal they have, but we'll see. We need to find an Asmo. I'm actually going to fetch Watery Grave here now that they didn't show us the Blood Moon, because I think my best way out of this is Asmo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go this first. Basically, I'm going to make my food. Then we're going to play Thought Monitor, saving the Street Wraith, because I may just not want to cycle it this turn, but we'll see what happens. Okay. Let's play another Monitor. Okay, okay. Awkward. It's a tough spot because I didn't find a land. It may just be dead next turn if they just have some bolts. There's a decent chance that we'll just die. I'm not going to cycle the Street Wraith yet, but... So they have an Arid Base on top. Yeah, not drawing a land there was such a beat. Although, even if I draw a land, I guess, like, what's my best case? Hold up, just play Cookbook. Probably not that good. Probably still just dead. They don't need much here. Just need, like, a Bolt and a Lava Dart. Stomp. Okay. Yeah. It's usually hard to beat this deck without Asmo. It's usually one of those things where if you draw Asmo, they can't win, but if you don't, then it's really hard. So there's a lot of matchups like that, to be fair. All right, Asmo. So I can go. I'm just dead on board, right? I guess I play Emery, block here, hope they have no spell. Go to 1. Sure. Literally just dead to any spell. It's a really unfortunate game. We drew 6 extra cards. Like, look at this. We're on 35 cards. We've looked at 35 cards. Or excuse me, we've looked at 25 cards. We've only seen 2 lands. It's pretty insane. Pretty crazy when you think about it. All right, draw a card off Canyon. Pretty crazy. Okay, they have a spell. I died. So against prowess, I like explosives, I like fatal push, I don't like rebuke because their deck is just super low curve. And I actually don't like Doomblade because for the most part, Doomblade trades down on mana, and it's like the cards that it doesn't trade down on mana with are like Bone Crusher Giant, in which case they got a 2-for-1 anyways, so it's, I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of it. Another matchup where I don't mind cutting a Street Wraith, and I think I'm going to keep all the Urzas in the play. I think I might just do this. People tell me that I should bring in Gust against Prowess, and I really, really don't like it because, again, similar thing. You're just always trading down on mana. I think the way that I found, like the way that they beat you, is when you just get clunked up. Oh, the needle sucks. Yeah, we need to get the needle out of here. Okay, I can keep the Emery. But the way that they beat you is just like them overwhelming you, right, with a bunch of spells. And the more 2-mana spells you add to your deck, the more likely they are to do that. So just keep your curve low. I think it's a good matchup. This hand kind of sucks. Uh, it's a good matchup if you don't mull the 5, I should say. Caveat there. Alright, I'll keep this, put back Shadow Spear, and I think Bone Shards is pretty bad on a mull the 5. Let's bobble myself. I'm going to do it main phase. It's another Explosives. I think I'm actually down to keep that. Because it's going to take them a little while to get through the first Explosives. Or if they just want to spend their whole turn 1 just casting Shattering Spree, I'm okay with that. Deal. Now I have a good turn where I can just go Saga Go. They can't play any 1-drops. I can just take one from the Swift Spear and then end step the Explosives. So this is really good for me. They have basic planes in their deck? It's a weird one. Alright, Firebolt resolves. I'll take 2. I think I'm still going to choose not to pop the Explosives. I'll just take 2 damage. Just in case they have, like, Clever Lumimancer or something. You never know. I'll just take 2. It's fine. Alright. I guess I'll blow up your Swift Spear now. They had Tear for Urza Saga. Okay. I got another one. Your turn. I do want to play the Explosives this turn, I think. Maybe that was bad to play it there. Could just played Saga and passed. Maybe that was better. Obosh. Alright, you got an Obosh. Am I going to save the Street Wraith? I mean, the thing is, I'm not doing anything but just making a construct here, so I don't really think there's a good reason to cycle Street Wraith quite yet. So I guess if they have basic blades in their deck, they probably don't have Lava Dart. Right, because there's no way you would put Lava Dart in basic planes in your deck. At least I don't think you would. Never know. The basic planes is just really throwing me off. Lightning Bolt the Construct. Sure. I accept. So they have 3 cards, one of them is an Obosh. So let's make another Construct. Probably get Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear is Springleaf Drum. I guess I should have cycled the Street Wraith before choosing what to get, because that might inform my decision. I mean, I could also just get Shadow Spear, play a tap lane, and pass. But I kind of want to play the Cookbook. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Shadow Spear, Cookbook. And then that way, if they have Bolt on their turn, I mean, I guess they have Soulscar Mage, so it's kind of awkward, but I guess this is also bad into the Explosives, huh? But maybe I just don't pop the Explosives then? Yeah, I guess the Soulscar is making this awkward. Maybe I should have got a Bauble? What if I get a Bauble off of the Urza Saga, don't play the Cookbook, just play Tapland, with the intention of just popping the Explosives next turn? I feel like that's not quite as good, though. Okay, this is fine. Can't really attack. I mean, I'll call. Do they have mutagenic growth? These decks you don't usually play mutagenic growth. They don't. Cool. Let's go equip here. Make a food. Daredevil was not a bad draw. Alright, 5-ball. 14, 17. So they have an Obosh in their hand, which they can cast and potentially trade if they so choose. Oh, do they have Obosh plus Burn Spell? I guess that would suck. Yeah, it's so good for them. My goodness. Still trying to figure out why the heck they have basic planes in their deck, but. And it'll be a good draw next turn. If I draw land. Assuming I'm not just dead. Should not F6 because I can crack a food here. Yeah. Swift Spear. It's their last card. Monkey. I don't really want to pop the explosives here because I lose the Shadow Spear, and I think if I lose the Shadow Spear, I don't. 3, 4, 5, 6. Go to 8. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Shadow Spear is too important, but maybe I'm just wrong about that. So last card's Monkey. Land. Man. I guess I can bounce the Obosh and then take 3 and go to 5. Alright. Go. It's a frustrating game. I gotta bounce the Obosh in combat so I take less damage. This is a really frustrating game, though. Game that I feel like I should have won, but... I mean, I think maybe if I get Springleaf Drum instead of Shadow Spear... Well, no, because they just killed all my stuff anyways, right? And I drew the Urza the turn after all my stuff died. So I don't think it would have mattered that much. Yeah, maybe if I set myself up better for the explosives. So maybe I was supposed to get Mishra's Bauble off of this and not play the cookbook. But, I mean, it ended up not mattering because they just kind of threw the Soul Scar in the trash anyways. But, okay, alright, I don't want to play anymore. Yeah, that was a really frustrating match. Not much to say there. I think that usually this matchup is quite good for us, but, you know, just some series of unfortunate draws, and they drew pretty well. So, we're 3-1. I'll see you back in just a little bit for number 5. Alrighty, YouTube, let's see if we can recover from our last round loss. Our opponent chose to draw, for what it's worth. We did not win the die roll. I guess that means they're playing 8 rack. Well, again, if I knew the top card of my deck was a land, I would keep that hand, but we don't have that information, so. Alright, cycle this, try and find a cookbook. Do I want to fetch here? No, I don't think so. Right, play cookbook, pass. So again, they chose to draw, which, yeah, they're obviously playing rack. Sure. You may select a card. Can't say I've seen 8 rack in quite some time. I don't know if this matchup's good or not. I feel like it probably is, but... Awkward. Because if they have another Thoughtseize, that kind of sucks. If they don't have a Thoughtseize this turn, I can cast it. Lynch Mind, huh? So, if I make a food... 3, 4, 5... And then I can just discard these 2 to the Wrench Mind, discard whatever card I draw, and then play Thought Monitor. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's get these back. 2 cards, discard Daredevil, discard land, crack fetch, get Watergrave tapped. So we have 5 mana towards the Monitor. Okay, it's not bad. It's actually quite good. So get these 2 back. Play Monitor. Wait, what am I doing? Oh, I'm horrible at math. Wait, I'm really dumb. I thought I was going to be able to play the monitor this turn. Oh, I was assuming that I had the land. Okay, that was bad. Maybe I should have discarded monitor then. Not sure. Hmm. Yeah, I guess I maybe should have discarded monitor then instead of discarding the land and the daredevil. But I did the math assuming I was keeping the land and then just completely forgot I was discarding the land to all of that. So yeah, that was probably bad. All right, didn't get punished. Oh boy. Oh boy, if we draw a land here. Okay, I lied. Maybe our 8 rack matchup is good. Did not draw land, but I don't think it matters. Expedition map. All right, you got it. Inquisition of Kozilek. Odds they concede to the 2 thought monitors. Are they gonna play it out? What do you think? Oh, all right. They're gonna stick around. I applaud their bravery. Let's go shores, bobble. Bobble you now. Attack for 2. Alright. They have a wrench mine on top. Should I counter it, or should I just let it resolve? I'll probably just let it resolve. Just discard some daredevils. Alright. I think we're done here. 2 cards. Right, okay, they've had enough. So I have to imagine they have some sort of graveyard hate because their deck probably just can't beat the Daredevil. I mean, just Daredevil face up is just so good against them. What am I sideboarding against them? Fatal Push is bad. They don't usually have creatures, although they have Urza Saga. So maybe I could consider Fatal Push for that reason. Gust is obviously bad. Rebuke is not terrible. I think Bone Shards is pretty bad, right? I mean, sometimes they have Liliana, but I think I'd rather just have counterspells. And then maybe like a Tezzeret if they're going super hard on the graveyard hate. Explosive's also pretty good against like multiple racks. I don't think I want any of the removal though. I think the removal's all bad. I think Thoughtseize is terrible. Nihil Spellbomb? Are they doing anything with their graveyard? I don't think so. Same with Ashiok. Okay, so I gotta cut 2 cards. Pithing Needle, good against Liliana the Veil, so I probably want to keep it. Spellbomb, good against Urza Saga. Shadow Spear can be important in the Saga v Saga matchup, but I don't know. I don't know if I have time for that. I just don't know how relevant the Shadow Spear is. Although I can gain some life, yeah. I guess if they were going super hard in the graveyard, maybe I'd trim an Emery. And then maybe this is just too many 4-drops against the mono discard spell deck. Although they're putting me in the play, so I like Tezzeret a little bit more. You can trim a Street Wraith. Okay, let's do that. Because Asmo is not as important in this matchup. Okay. Same doesn't really do anything, so I think I should mulligan. Yeah. Obviously sucks mulling against 8 rack, but okay, we'll keep this, put back Watery Grave. Now I can go turn 1, bobble myself, just looking for Daredevil. Flooded Strand. I think I don't really want to draw Flooded Strand. Let's just play Cookbook and pass. The reason I'm playing Cookbook this turn, even though normally you would want to play Springleaf Drum first, is because I think just having this in play is just too important. Like if they have a discard spell. Sure. Not going to make a food here. But yeah, just having this in play is too important. Like if I play this, they just snap take Cookbook and then I can't do anything with the Asmo. And if I draw Daredevil, just having this in play is such high upside. I guess I'll just dump my hand. I think that's probably fine. I guess dumping my hand is kind of bad if they have a Smallpox. But then I can discard the Darkslick Shores. Maybe just sack the Urza Saga. Depending on what happens. But yeah, Smallpox is pretty bad for me. But I think Smallpox is bad no matter what. Like, even if I keep the Springleaf Drum or the second Cookbook, I guess hypothetically I could discard that to Smallpox, sack Urza Saga, and then still have 2 mana sources. But, yeah. I don't know. It's going to be bad for me no matter what. Just hope they don't have Smallpox. Yeah, they did. Shoot. Yeah, that stinks. I think I have to discard... Or I think I have to sack the Urza Saga. Because if I keep the Urza Saga, I have no way of activating it next turn, so... I think there's really no reason to keep it. Yeah, it's not a good draw. Alright, we're probably dead. Probably dead. They have their own Urza Saga, and they have the rack. Okay. Yield to the rack. Drew an island. So now I can go discard island, play Asmo. Is that good? What's my out this game? I mean, I guess I could just choose to not play cards. But if they don't have Fatal Push, I think Asmo's not that bad. Because Asmo can handle Construct tokens. So I think I'd rather just do this. And I think I'm going to choose to not play the Cookbook. Take less damage from the rack. The third Cookbook in play doesn't do anything because I don't have the Daredevil. So, I mean, yeah, this sucks if they have Fatal Push, but it's pretty bad for me no matter what if they have Fatal Push. We need to find the Daredevil. That is what we need to find. Kind of a weird matchup spread today. Played against like Jeskai Ascendancy, Red-White Obosh Prowess, 8-Rack. It's a really weird matchup spread. Does a Fatal Push? Seems like they might not have a land for Urza Saga. Like, they can get another rack, but again, I could just hold cards in my hand at this point. Unless, the only cards that I really want to play are like Urza Saga, but I think Urza Saga is about the only one. Oh, they do have a land. Okay. Is this another Smallpox? I guess I probably can't beat that, right? Because then I just have no mana sources, and I have no pressure. And they're going to get another rack next turn. So I'll probably scoop if they play Smallpox. Okay, yeah. I am off of it. I still don't really think the removal spells are that good. Yeah, right. Submit. Game 3. Game 3. Always remember against 8-Rack, choose to draw. Choose to draw. I always forget that. Choose to draw, choose to draw, choose to draw. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but the way that their deck functions, you just always want to choose to draw. This hand looked a bit loose. I'm actually going to keep it. I just like keeping a 7-card hand against them. On top of the fact that we essentially have Cookbook plus Daredevil because we can just Saga on turn 2 and get the Cookbook, and then we have the Daredevil. And Daredevil's just one of the best cards against them. I mean, I'm sure they have answers for it, but Daredevil's just awesome against them. Alright, they're choosing to play nothing. Cycle this, try and hit a Cookbook. Did not hit, so I'll just play this tapped. I still don't want to play Saga on 1 because I want to get full value out of Saga. And also, if they have Smallpox, I'd rather just not sacrifice the Saga. This way, if they cast Smallpox, I just discard Daredevil, sack Watery Grave, and it's whatever. Alright, they have Ratchet Bomb. Which I guess they can tick up to 1 or 0, depending on what they want to do. So they can have it on 1 to answer Cookbook or 0 to answer Constructs. It feels like for now they probably would just want to leave it on 0. Just like, depending on what I do, then they can, change their decision. But I assume they want to keep it on 0 for the most part. But yeah, I mean, just being in this spot where we just have 7 cards in our hand, you know, and that's like, I think that's the biggest reason why it's just so hard to play 8-rack right now, because of the card Urza Saga. It's just so hard to like. Your opponent can play a land and just they don't have to cast any spells the rest of the game. You know, this card is just worth 3 spells by itself, and that's a spot where 8-rack is like really far behind because I don't have to do anything. I don't have to play spells to put pressure on them, or you know what I mean. So let's see what I want to do with this. If I make a second construct, they're just gonna pop the bomb on 0. But then if they do that, I can just get a cookbook, and it's not that bad. If I float mana, they probably don't sack the bomb, and then I just get Pithing Needle, but then I'm not getting the cookbook. So I actually think it's better to force the issue with Ratchet Bomb. They didn't sacrifice it. Okay, well, that's good for me. That is good for me. I mean, I guess that means I'm not getting a cookbook, but I mean now they're just gonna start taking chunks. So I'm okay with that. They could pay 5 life to draw a card. I mean, I guess they probably have some fatal pushes in hand, but also fine with that. I'm gonna get a 2-for-1 out of the saga. Essentially a 3-for-1, actually, right? Because I'm gonna get 2 removal spells and I essentially traded for the Ratchet Bomb. So extirpate my Urza Saga. Sure, that's fine. That is fine. It's mildly annoying, but you know. They only have 3 cards. They have a Ratchet Bomb that's not doing anything. We have some pressure. Could start casting some 4/2s next turn. Should be okay. And it's turn 4, and we still have 7 cards in our hand against 8-rack, so, you know. This is exactly the reason why Urza Saga is just so busted. You just don't have to do anything. I literally did not cast a single spell this game. Alright, see what they got. Maybe they have Damnation. But then it's 4/2 territory. 4/2 beats time. Liliana minus, sure. I will sacrifice a construct. And then I will attack your Liliana. Then I will play 4/2 beats. Your turn. 4/2 beats, what's up? Still have 3 cards. Next turn we can go Cookbook, Daredevil. See what they got. Liliana again. Okay, I'll just sack the Daredevil. So I'm just going to get it back. And then I will attack their Liliana again. Maybe they drew Fatal Push this turn? I didn't have it last turn. Black. Is this a Surgical Extraction? I guess that's pretty unfortunate for us, but again, they only have 2 cards left. So they drew Extirpate and Surgical, 2 sideboard cards. Actually, they probably drew 3 sideboard cards. Alright, Urza. That's pretty good too. Alright, kill your Liliana. Now we get to go this Cookbook. And then I'm not going to discard a card. There's just kind of no reason to. Play a Monitor, draw some cards, pass turn. They're down to 3 cards. Still have 2 threats. We have another Monitor next turn. We've been extracted for Daredevils and Sagas. Sure. So I'll sack Monitor, sack Island, discard Watery Grave. They have one card. Is it a rack? It's another smallpox. Sure. Discard Misty. Sacrifice Delta. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I gotta discard one of these, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay, so discard Tarn, crack this for Island. Draw some cards, pass the turn. They're Hellbent. They have a castle, a swamp, and a ratchet bomb they can't use. They drew Expedition Map, which is pretty good. I think I'm just gonna... do I want to cycle? Not sure. Kind of want to cycle because I kind of want to try and find an Urza, or an Urza. That works too. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Monitor. Yeah, we're just burying them at this point. I'm just gonna choose to not play any of my cards. Yeah, you can go. Might as well hold cards in my hand for the rack purposes. You never know. They're on a 2-turn clock. I mean, I guess, like, they could find Damnation, but even if they find Damnation, we can just, like, get back a Monitor. Probably still miles ahead. They're on 6, and... pass. You may proceed. Think we got them. Alright, they are off at 4-1. Only losing to some red-white Obosh prowess. Final thoughts, deck still incredible. I still really believe this is one of the best decks in the format. If not, I mean, I'm personally biased towards this deck because I just have such a love for decks like this. So I will probably be the first one to tell you that this is the best deck in the format. But that's just my own personal bias, even though, you know, realistically the best deck is probably Hammer or Blue-Red or Black-Red. But I really love this deck. I'm going to keep putting in a lot of work on it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you made it all the way to the end, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Peace.